Okay, so we have Morgan here. Freaking love Morgan. And there's so much that I can personally say, but this isn't about me. This is about her. So before we get started, Morgan, so people can understand the validity of your story, what do you do for a living?
I am an ER nurse.
Okay, okay. What are the challenges of being an ER nurse?
Um, I mean, what isn't challenging about being an ER nurse? You're taking on other people's baggage the entire shift, um, seeing traumatic stuff. Especially this past year, it's been traumatic and stressful for our department, and I mean, everything is stressful. The hours, the patients, the nature of the work.
Totally, totally. And are you married? Do you have any kids?
I am married and I have a year and a half old son.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So we're an ER nurse, we're married, and we have one child.
Right.
Okay, so that is the validity and the start of her story. So you can understand it sounds like probably high stress. It sounds like possibly that there's many different variables with the job because she's also a traveling one. She didn't mention that, but she travels quite often. On top of that, being able to juggle a relationship, which is fun, but can be challenging, and it can have challenging things happen in and of itself because we always want to be the best for our spouse. We always want to make more time for the individual, even though we are busy people. So, if anybody knows me, that's what I specialize in. I specialize in busy folks. So, high stress, usually struggling with sleep, all of the problems, energy, all of those things. So, now we understand where you're at in the foundation of the story. Now, let's understand where you were before you decided to join this challenge of changing your life in the first place. Where were you actually at? What things did you find were really challenging that got you into the mindset that you wanted to make health and wellness and change a priority right now?
Sure. So I'm the oldest of five kids. And my entire life, I have been taking care of other people. I mean, it is in my job, it's at my house,
Yeah.
my home life, family life, whatever. And it wasn't until I really started traveling where I started taking care of myself. Um, Traveling ended, I came back home and my family needed me. So while I was having a baby, I took care of my family and ended up this winter just being completely overwhelmed, not able to take care of myself. And I knew that I needed something to change because I wasn't happy and I felt bad. I didn't have energy to do anything, I didn't want to do anything. And I knew that with COVID and the way that my life was, if I didn't change anything, that I wouldn't be able to make myself happy or anyone else happy.
Totally. Totally. And just about how Morgan and I met, like I actually met Morgan in the gym, and she kind of operates as an online client where we essentially meet one day a week, and then she does her freaking thing, and I help her with nutrition, with understanding physiology, how to move about her lifestyle challenges, variables, all those different things, and she's doing a really really good job. But one of the interesting things about Morgan when she came, a lot of it was going to be mindset based. A lot of the challenges happen from the mindset portion. And if you feel comfortable, Morgan, you can dive in a little bit deeper as we go. But when it comes down to those challenges, what would you say was the biggest challenge that you had before starting this process? The very biggest one, if you put it up at the highest point of your list, what would the very biggest challenges be?
Well, my biggest challenge was my eating disorder. And I had struggled with that since I was a teenager. Um, and I never sought help for it as an adult or a kid. And this was my first time ever trying anything to help me. And I that was my biggest mindset struggle.
Yeah.
And for the 90 days that I have been able to change my mindset, I have not failed once with my eating disorder.
Amazing. And you said eating disorder, so someone who probably has your situation, what is it that you struggle with?
Bulimia.
Okay, okay. And you have not binged once, you haven't purged once, you haven't done nothing
No,
the entire time.
the entire time.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. So my next question then is, what key things have you noticed that have measurably changed with your mind, your body, and your life? Take your time on this. Just kind of think it through.
Okay. Um, my, well, for one with the eating disorder, I learned through this program, it took away a lot of guilt that I had. The biggest thing was under being able to understand what my body needed and why it needed it. Um, because without that, eating is just guilt for me. It's not a tool, it's not anything else other than that.
Yeah.
So when I learned how to take care of my body and how to eat alongside exercising, um, it wiped that away. And then without the guilt, I didn't have to do it anymore. So that was the biggest change. The other one is definitely, it's a lot of stuff is definitely mindset for me.
Yeah.
Through the past year, a lot of anger and grieving. And I've definitely been a lot more open to taking help and seeking help to better myself. Um, and not only for me, but then I'm able to help other people too. Um, what else? I'm wearing my pre-pregnancy bikini.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah.
That's super big.
So that did not fit in the beginning of the 90 days, and I thought we're going to the beach today. So I thought, oh, I'm going to try this on, and it fits. Um,
That's fantastic.
I'm also a lot stronger than I was before.
A lot. A lot.
A lot.
A lot. A lot. I have to put a little further on that because yeah, big time.
Yeah. So that's incredible. I mean, looking at the where I started on my PRs and where I'm at is awesome and motivating. Um, what else? I mean, there's so many different things that has helped me. Understanding my sleep and how that
I was
goes
just about to say it. How's
into
your sleep improved?
my sleep has improved. I have a routine. I mean, it's not great this week because my awareness is something that is definitely a lot better. Like I went into this year thinking I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to set myself up for the professional life that I want.
Yeah.
And I did that. And I pulled into a parking lot and I'm like, I am so burnt out. I can't, I'm so glad that I had the awareness to quit one of these so that I can take care of myself
Bingo.
because I cannot do this. So I'm just trying to get through these next few weeks and then it'll be done and I will know not to do that to myself anymore because I definitely use busyness as a deflection from
Yep.
things I should be dealing with.
Yep. Yep. So,
Hmm.
in one of the things that you've learned that when it comes to these really, really high stressful states, we double down on recovery and we double
Hmm.
down on the things that kind of relax our mind, even so much so as pulling away from exercise. If we perceive exercise to be something like, oh, I have to exercise, but if we perceive that it is a good thing, that we can actually see it as what we call a power or a charge, then it might be something that can actually deflect how your body is perceiving stress. So many different nuances like that, including with the nutrition. You know, higher calories, lower calories, middle calories, depending upon where we are within our headspace, within our body, and also within our awareness. So, those things have also been very powerful for you. And then also, when it comes to your energy on a normal state, how has your energy improved at all?
Um, I mean, it's definitely improved. The routine helps me a lot. Um, Making sure that I get stuff done in the beginning of the day makes for a better day where I'm not stressed out and I can enjoy the day and play with my son and all the good things that I would want to do. So
Normalize.
energy, yeah, energy is great.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And your stress management. We've been talking about the stress, but how have you been able to manage it now that you have come through this 90 days and decided to even continue on?
Sure. So my stress management, getting up in the morning, getting my stuff done, I have to do that to be successful. Um,
Yeah, me too.
I, yeah, um, going to bed at a decent time. I mean, there's all these routines that I have to do
Yeah,
to be successful, and I know that if I don't do them, then I'm not going to be.
precisely.
The other thing is when I before I would work out, it would have to be all or nothing. There's no moderation anywhere.
Yep.
So either I bust my ass in the gym forever,
Yeah.
um, multiple times a day, or I don't do anything.
Yep.
Um, so getting up in the morning at 6 um, to do stairs for 10 minutes when I'm not doing a big workout. I have to do that to also not feel guilty that I'm not doing anything. Um, and that helps me not go to a 2 hour workout where I'm pushing the extreme.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And understanding how to maintenance those things and how to see them. Because it can cause a negative relationship with both food and exercise. And
Mhm.
it's not just someone with a condition, it can happen to anyone. Anyone. Now, the next question I have, and I'm pretty sure as I know what this might be, but I don't want to guess. Regarding your success, what are you most proud of and why?
Why didn't you give me these questions beforehand?
I want it to flow. I want it to be you. It's the hot seat, man.
Oh, what am I most proud of? I'm most, although it is so scary to talk about my eating disorder and it's embarrassing, and I
Yep.
do carry a lot of shame for it. That is the thing, not binging or purging, well, not purging is the thing that I'm the most proud of.
I am too. I am too. And just the woman that you're becoming. The woman that you're becoming is just, you are truly understanding and engaging with this. And just like I told you, the more time under tension that you have under these set of rules or parameters and guidelines, if you will, the better that you become at all of these things. See, 90 days is kind of like a kick in the bucket. It's kind of like a start. It's almost not even the foundation yet. When you look at the course of your life, really what we've actually seen over the most studies, actually cross referencing around 115 to 120 different studies, is that a year is what it takes for anyone to make a full on, flat out change. It starts, actually, the most important is 21 days for the brain. And then for the body, it is that existing repetitious planning that you're doing over and over and over again because you're taking your body from a lower state to a momentum state. So you're entering the momentum state and you're seeing what can happen. So we see that our measurements have changed in our arms, in our back, in our legs, in our butt. All of that stuff is increasing while your stomach is decreasing. That's called body recomposition. It's a hell of a win, but it's just scratching the surface. And that's the pleasurable thing about this entire thing, that it's literally you go from strength to strength to strength to strength, and you never ever stop. That's the positive motion when it comes to fitness, health, and wellness, because they all have to stick together as one. They have to be married. They have to be married, including physiology, your sleep, your stress, your hunger management, the energy, the cognition, all of the stuff. So my question is for you. What would you say to someone who's on the fence of doing this in the first place? Like, what would you say to them, even if they were your friend or your loved one? They don't know my skill set. They don't know who I am. What would you say to them to get them off of that ledge and say, dude, just go? What would you say?
Hmm.
I know, right?
Um, I mean, the only thing that I can say is what it's done for me.
Sure.
And I was a very angry and unhealthy and just like lost person.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like this has given me the tools to do what I need to do to have the outcomes that I want. Happy, healthy family, to feel good about myself, to get rid of the struggles that I've had my entire life.
Yeah.
Um, and there's so much misinformation out there about how to take care of yourself. I mean, it is just, it's ridiculous. You have to put in the time and effort to have an education on how to take care of yourself because none of us lay people have had that.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not anything that's shameful. It's just not something that you're taught. So I would say that as an adult is your responsibility to fix yourself. And you
Powerful.
have to educate yourself to do that.
That's really, really, really powerful. Any finishing words at all?
No, just thank you. I mean, this has been, don't make me cry.
Well, I've enjoyed. You know what? Me and Morgan, we have this thing, right? So she'll send me videos and all kinds of different things, and I tell her to do this. That there's this safe space in
Hmm.
order for her to get things off of her chest, in order for her to expand upon what she's thinking, what she's feeling. This is what coaching is all about. It's been forgotten because unfortunately, somewhere along the line, and a lot of people don't know this, but when you go into a big gym, you see trainers that they're forced to have a certain clientele load and it stresses them out. If they don't have that clientele load, then what happens is they get fired. Nutrition coaches, I used to believe in this. I did. I used to think that just because I'm in the allied healthcare system that everything is going to kind of work. It doesn't. I used to think that registered dietitian was actually a good thing until I heard literally every client. Now I've dealt with 10 who've said the same thing about registered dietitians not helping them. It's like, where is this industry really going is kind of my question, to be honest, and it's kind of sickening a little bit because this is the industry that helps people out of their pain before they have to go to a doctor, a physical therapist, a chiropractor, etc., and on down the line, and eventually a freaking doctor if they don't get the crap together, or a surgeon, even worse, whatever.
Mhm.
So it's like, it's sad. So to have the relationship that you can share with an individual and just see them as a human being is what's powerful to me. It's what makes me do this. It's really what makes me do this. There's really no other purpose. I'm successful. I don't need any more clients. It's fun to help someone who really actually cares to help themselves. And this is the woman that you see before you. She is powerful. She's strong. Where she started from, she is no longer. And I love dealing with you, Morgan. So as long as you need me, sincerely.
Same. No, this has been incredibly holistic, and it's something that I've never experienced, and that it's a shame that other people don't get to because every other interaction that I've had in the healthcare or the fitness industry is just heartbreaking. It is just,
Yeah,
it's not where it needs to be.
yeah.
So, thank you for everything. I've enjoyed this so much, and I look forward to continuing to.
Sam, Sam, thank you again for your time. I know you're a very busy woman, so thank
Thank
you for your time, Morgan. For real.
you for yours.
Awesome, man. Well, we will be talking soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye now.